Hello and welcome back. So today we are going to be looking at irrationality proofs, and all of these proofs are by contradiction, and they're like classic proofs. They're pretty old proofs, I think. And if this is your first time if this is your first time encountering these, I think you'll have a nice time. And also, on a side note, if you hear the mooing of cows, or if you hear the uh, what sound does a goat make in English? Bleat? What the hell? I've never heard a goat go bleat, but that's what Google says. So if you hear a cow go moo or a goat go bleat in the background, just ignore it. Um, these irrationality proofs. So we can actually start with, let's take root 2. Now root 2 is known to be irrational, and what irrational really means is that it cannot be expressed as a fraction, it cannot be expressed as a fraction. So these proofs are by contradiction, and the way we do this is that we assume the opposite. So we are going to assume that root 2 is a rational number. In other words, it equals a over b, where a and b are positive integers and a and b are also relatively prime. What relatively prime means is that they don't share common prime factors. So for example, 5 into 2 and 3 into 7, here a and b are relatively prime. So now once we assume this, we will try to show that our assumption was false, that maybe the equality doesn't hold, or maybe the things that we assumed were false to start with. So in this equality, we can get rid of the first annoying thing by taking a square. In other words, 2 is equal to a square over b square. So we can see that 2b squared is equal to a squared. Now considering that a is an integer, a has to be an even integer, because a squared is an even number. So a is 2t, in other words. So 2b squared is 2t whole squared. In other words, b squared is 2t squared. Now according to this, b is also an even number, but here we actually have a contradiction, because a and b both cannot be an even number. If they're both even number, then it breaks our assumption that they were relatively prime, and hence root 2 is an irrational number. Now for example, on the same note, if we argue that root 3 is equal to a over b, hence 3 is equal to a squared over b squared. In other words, a square must be a multiple of 3, so it is actually 3 squared into t squared equals 3b squared. But this means that 3t squared is equal to b squared. So b squared, in other words b, is also a multiple of 3. Both of them cannot be a multiple of 3, because that breaks the assumption, and hence root 3 is also an irrational number. Now it is actually interesting to see where this sort of logic breaks down when you take numbers that are actually rational. So for example, we know that root of 36 is a perfectly rational number. It's an integer that is equal to 6. If we try to apply the same, let's say 36b squared equals a squared, this would mean that a is also a multiple of 6. So 36b squared equals 6 squared t squared, but actually this is already 6 squared. So both of these cancel out, and you're left with, well, actually nothing. You're just left with b squared equals t squared, and there is no problem. So that's where this sort of logic breaks down when you take perfect squares. So let's go ahead and try to prove something as a bonus. Let's say we can try to prove that root 2 plus root 3 is also irrational. So we go by the same logic, and then we do the same thing. Well, in this case we won't completely eliminate the square root, but there are actually 2 layers to it that we can use. So square of this will be something like actually this thing squared is equal to a over b squared. In other words, 2 plus 2 root 2 root 3 plus 3 b squared equals a squared. So 5 plus 2 root 6 b squared equals a squared. Now if a is an integer, of course a squared is also an integer. A squared is equal to this stuff, so this stuff must also be an integer. In order for this stuff to be an integer, both of the elements that are multiplying would have to be, well, this is already an integer, so it must also be multiplying with an integer. So we now need to focus on proving that, well, or proving the opposite, that this is also an integer. This 5 is an integer, so at the end what it boils down to, whether 2 root 6 is an integer or not. Well, we all know it's pretty clear that 2 root 6 is not an integer, but in fact we can go ahead and try to prove something that is even stronger, proving that not only is 2 root 2 not an integer, it is also not a rational number. So we are applying the same process here, that 4 multiplied with 6b squared equals a squared. So here we can see that this is actually 8 into 3b squared equals a squared. Here it's not only sufficient to say that a is an even number, we must also extend that a is actually a multiple of 8. Sorry, a squared is a multiple of 8. In other words, a must be at least a multiple of 4. So 8 multiplied, and of course you cannot forget the 3. So 8 multiplied with 3 squared is equal to 4 squared multiplied with 3 squared multiplied with t squared. Here I have taken a to be equal to 4 into 3 times t. So b squared turns out to be 6t squared. Now this is a contradiction, because the same thing is happening, that a squared turned out to be an even number, but at the same time b squared also turned out to be an even number. In other words, a and b are both even and they are not relatively prime, so that's where it breaks. Right. Also interesting, and an interesting side note here is that even though all of these numbers are irrational, but you can also still make a line that has that irrational distance. So for example, if you take a right angle triangle that has side length 1 and 1 unit, and you measure and if you connect the two sides, in other words, if you take the hypotenuse, that would be root 2. So you have made a line that is root 2 units, but you still don't know precisely what its value is in terms of decimals. So that's an interesting thought to have. And actually, we can, since we're on the topic of irrationalities, we can look ahead into some other type. So we've looked at the square roots. Let's now try to prove log. So let's try to prove that log base 10 of 2 is an irrational number. Just a recap, when I say log base b of a, it is basically asking the question, b to what power do you raise b such that it gives you a, right? So x is basically log base b of a. Now if we argue by contradiction, then b log 10 of 2 is equal to a, and then by the rules of log, this is actually equal to 2 to the power b equals a, and hence we arrive at this equality that 2 to the power b is 10 to the power a. In other words, 2 to the power b is 2 to the power a into 5 to the power a. Now there's nothing wrong with there being 2's on both sides, but what's odd is that there's a 5 over here, which is a whole another prime number. So if a and b are positive integers, this is simply never true, because 5 is a different prime number. This equality is only true when a and b both are equal to 0, but that's not what we assume, because this would just be 0 divided by 0, and hence this is also a contradiction, and hence log base 10 of 2 is also an irrational number. Right, so these were proofs by contradiction for irrationality, and QED. Meet you in the next video.